This is Utica Bulldog Country.
Yeah.
This is the place to be. This is where it all goes down, y'all. Live from the Hinds Community College Utica campus. Get ready, get set. It's Homecoming 2021.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on this special coverage of the 2021, the New Renaissance Homecoming Celebration of Hinds Community College Utica campus. I am Mikayla Brown.
And I'm Jacobus Rowe. It's that time again, Homecoming Week on all 6 campuses, and we're here at the historic Bell Tower on the Utica campus.
Yes, Roby, I am very excited for this year's homecoming because last year, as we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic limited a lot that many could do as far as having a traditional homecoming as you would normally see.
Same, Mikayla, and we definitely have our hands full this year because not only will homecoming be on the Utica campus, but it is happening on all 6 campuses. You will see the WHUC News 17 and my co-host and I cover every event on campus.
We definitely have our hands full this week from Sunday, October 17th to Friday, October 22nd. Kicking off homecoming week with a red carpet affair into an explosion right here on the Utica campus.
Hinds Utica is definitely jazzing everything up for homecoming week.
Hinds Community College kicked off homecoming week by adding a bit of jazz to the mix. I spoke to Dean Sharon Alexander about her jazz brunch and what made this event so special.
Today, I hosted the Dean's Brunch. It was for our students here on the Utica campus. They had the opportunity to have a very fine meal prepared by our Culinary Arts Department.
I was also able to speak to CTE Vice President Sherry Bellman about why she chose to come out to the event.
What we do is we support any initiatives that we're having that's involving our students and our communities. And this is one event that actually started our homecoming activities here on the Utica campus of Hinds Community College.
Not only was there a jazz brunch, but an alumni jazz mix and mingle was held at the Utica Institute Museum. National Alumni President Mabel Beecham and Museum Director Miss Jean Green shared their thoughts on the event.
Oh, I think it's great. We got the museum that we are so proud of here in the community, and just the fact that we have people coming in to see it, I think it's going to make a difference.
The history of Utica Institute and Utica Junior College needs to be kept alive because we want our history to thrive. It is a living, breathing thing.
Not only were those in attendance able to tour the museum, but they were also treated to refreshments as well as music from professional violinist John Uzodimma. Mr. Uzodimma tells us how it felt for him to not only play the jazz brunch earlier, but the mix and mingle as well.
It was so wonderful. I love playing for the students and to see them get up and dance on songs that I love to play, and it was just a great experience.
From one event to the next, it is always nice to see the alumni to come back and see how the school and its history is being preserved. As the saying goes, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. Bulldog pride lives in us forever. Roby, I heard there's an explosion going on right in the gymnasium.
Oh my, Mikayla, what's been blown up?
Not that type of explosion, Roby. A gospel explosion. WHUC News 7 reporter Ezekiel Harris brings us on how big this explosion is. Ezekiel?
That's right, Mikayla. I'm here at the gospel explosion where the Lord Jesus is lifting every spirit to the gates of heaven. It's homecoming week down here at the U. To kick off homecoming week, we had a gospel explosion. I spoke with Cedric Smith, and he tells me the purpose for this event.
The purpose of this event is to kick off homecoming. We do it on a Sunday. First off, it's a day of inspiration and encouragement for the students, and then we turn up for the rest of the week. But we bring in local talent to introduce them to new gospel music.
President Dr. Stephen Basic tells me how he felt about this event.
It was a great event. It was really a time to glorify the Lord. It was an opportunity for people to come out and really just share their faith, and I love it. It really started this week right.
Vice President Miss Sherry Bellman gives encouraging words to the students who didn't come out to the event.
They're missing the great happenings that's starting for our homecoming activities for the Utica campus, and you're missing out on the great events, and it's only effective if you're part of it. So you're part of the Utica campus, so we need you to join us here at the U.
Whew. That gospel explosion just took my breath away. It's nothing but the Holy Spirit in the building. Ezekiel Harris, reporter for WHUC News 7.
Well, I'm glad that explosion wasn't devastating to anyone. It looks like homecoming week is off to a great start. As you mentioned before, Michaela, COVID-19 is still around, but the fun is still being had while following health guidelines. As a matter of fact, on the Utica and Jackson ATC campus, WHUC News 7 reporter Jennifer Booz is at the Homecoming Health Fair to tell us about what's going on. Jennifer?
Thank you, Jacobus. I am at the Bulldog Plaza as they set up for a healthier year.
As you can see, the health fair is an event that everyone can take part in. As I walked around the health fair, I had the opportunity to talk with Mr. Fowler as he tells us the type of testing available at the health fair.
General health screenings going on. We also have care for me services here doing HIV and STD testing. And then also Jackson Hinds is here giving the COVID vaccine. And I believe they're doing some testing too.
Up the street on our sister campus, Jackson ATC, a health fair is going on. Hundreds of students and faculty came together for this event. Marquisha Smith tells us why she came out and participated in this event.
So there was a health screening, and I just wanted to get everything checked out to make sure I was good in general.
The Dean of Student Service, Dr. Timothy Rush, explains the purpose of this event on the Jackson campus.
Well, it's my belief that we're talking about students and having education and preparing yourself to provide for yourself. If you're not help them, wellness is a no-brainer.
Health fair on the Bulldog Plaza as well as the Hinds Jackson ATC campus. So come out and take part. Jennifer Booz reporting for WHUC News 7. Back to you, Michaela.
Jennifer, COVID-19 is for sure still a real factor, and hearing the voice of the students on the Hinds CC Jackson ATC campus is worth the listen. WHUC News 7 reporter David Anderson brings you insight on this event.
Yes, Michaela, here at the Alexander Academic Building, students have the opportunity to talk about COVID and represent their favorite college. At this event, students are open to voice their opinions or questions they have related to COVID. This sparked many great conversations and caused everyone to leave with more insight on how to stay healthy. Chikoze Undumba explains his thoughts on how the event went.
I think it was a very strong turnout. I was happy to see the amount of students and also faculty and staff that are able to come in and participate. It was great to see that there were active participants as well and willing to gain more information.
He also told me the biggest thing he wants people to know about COVID.
We're not over it yet. It's not done. I know we're tired of hearing about it, we're tired of seeing about it, and we still need people to stay diligent and really work on trying to stop the spread of COVID and protect themselves and their communities.
I also spoke with Serenity Menz as she expressed the best way to get accurate information on COVID.
Going to reputable sites like CDC, hospitals, going to things like this, just going and hearing reputable people give facts on what they need to do.
John Hendricks shared why people should join in on future events like this.
If you're willing to be informed and if you're open to new ideas, and if no matter what, if you want to help the community and stay safe and just hear the information that's being talked about.
Remember, the moment you stop asking questions is the moment you stop learning. Seeing these students participate in this event was engaging and productive. As always, Devin Anderson reporting from WHUC News 7.
Thanks, Devin. It sure is great that students are learning tips to keep their health in top-notch shape while enjoying homecoming events.
Speaking of top-notch, we have some top-notch talent here on the Utica campus. WHUC News 7 reporter Lenarius May tells us what talent is being displayed.
They're right, Jacobus and Michaela. I'm right here in the Bobby G. Cooper Fine Arts Building where these students are showcasing their wonderful talent.
Well, it is homecoming week for Hinds Community College. Here on the Utica campus, a talent show was held for students who want to showcase their wonderful talent. Students were singing, performing their own songs in front of the judges, and even some students were performing majorette in front of the home crowd. Even Hinds Utica cheerleaders performed in the talent show, showing off their wonderful and beautiful cheer skills and to get the crowd going. I was able to talk to one cheerleader on what made her cheermates participate in the talent show.
Me and my cheerleaders participating in the events to show homecoming pride and bulldog pride also, and to showcase what we got coming November the 1st at our first game for the boys.
I also talked to one host on what made him host the talent show.
I wanted to help out my community as well as my college.
Well, folks, there's an old saying, your talent is God's gift to you. But what you do with that talent is your gift back to God. The Nares May report of WHUC News 7. Back to you, Jacob and McCall.
Wow, Linares, it looks like the Utica campus is full of talented people.
Not only does the Utica campus have talent, I want to say the Raymond campus has talent as well.
Hinds Got Talent is happening at B Hall, and WHUC News 7 reporter Harmony Porter brings you insight on a night full of talent. Harmony?
There was a lot of great talent on the Raymond campus. Many people came out to support and cheer on their fellow student body. We snuck backstage to ask contestants what they would be performing.
I'm performing with RS Dance Raymond, Stop and Shake, and we'll be dancing and cheering. I am doing a contemporary dance.
Are you nervous at all?
Kind of, sort of, not really.
Before the performances started, I spoke with the judge to see what she was looking for in contestants when she and the other judges decide a winner.
Precision, actual talent, high energy.
And high energy there was. Every performer had an outstanding performance. We spoke with the second place winner, Madison Eubanks, on what she thought of the crowd's reaction to her singing.
I think they responded really well to me, and it was really exciting to see everybody just cheering me on.
I got the chance to speak to the director of this talent show, Mackenzie Hobbs, on why she decided to create this event.
I am over the talent show. I'm the director of the talent show. This is my idea from last semester, one of my RE programs, but I have time to do something bigger and better for homecoming.
She continued to add that all contestants did a great job, and she is thankful for all those who showed up.
That's right. We're here for the talent tonight here on the Raymond campus. Harmony Porter reporting for WHUC News 7.
Thanks, Harmony. You know, Michaela, I noticed another talent here on the Utica campus.
What is that, Roby?
The talent of hair and fashion. WHUC News 7 reporter Tiara Jackson is reporting at the Hair and Fashion Talent Show. Tiara?
In the fashion world, there's a saying, you better work. And these models right behind me are going to show you exactly how.
There is a sweet smell of success here at the Hinds Utica campus. The hair and fashion extravaganza blew all the audience's breath away with their new Renaissance styles. Fashion student Kiana Grant explains how she got started with fashion.
I was just trying something, honestly, but I did have a past of sewing. If something was broken, I could fix it, like a hole in my pants or something. So they really played a part in it. Also just trying something.
Fashion design instructor Jontia Davis was proud of her students' work, and she expressed her feelings.
Proud is not even a word for me right now. It's an understatement. I'm extremely proud simply because the students have been working really hard, from pattern making to sewing itty bitty tiny designs to now bringing it to the runway to be a realistic design. So I am extremely proud of each and every one of them.
Model coach Angel Lee gives advice to the students in pursuing their dreams.
I would tell them to continue with their dreams. Now, everything will not come as easy as some may think, but you will come to some dark roads, to some points where you may even consider giving up on your dream. But as again, I stated, I started late here, okay? So I'm still here. Right. So don't give up on your dreams. Yes, ma'am.
Well, guys, it's about time for me to go and hide before they put me on the runway. Tiara Jackson reporting for WHUC News 7. Got a blast.
Thanks, Tiara. It is nice to see the different hair and fashion styles that the students are rocking as they strut down the runway. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more fun happening on all Hinds campuses. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more fun-filled events when the Hinds Utica Campus Homecoming 21 coverage continues on Hinds' very own WHUC. When stories hit home, you can trust the WHUC News 17 to give you the information you need.
Here's the photos, Thursday, August 19th.
If it's Hinds Community College news around the campuses.
And this is only the beginning. We have a full week of activity.
Weather.
And now in Crystal Springs, as you can see,
sports.
Hinds is ready to get back to usual by starting the semester off with sports.
And more. We are WHUC News 7, Hinds' only college news station that cares. You're watching the live coverage of Homecoming 2021 on Hinds' very own WHUC News 7.
back to the special coverage of the 2021 Homecoming celebration. I am Jacobus Rober. Makala, I had to leave you for just a moment and venture back to the Raymond campus where they are having an alumni reunion and luncheon. Hinds Community College Raymond held its annual 50-plus luncheon to honor the classes of 1970, 1971, and all prior high school and college classes. I spoke to Hinds President, Dr. Stephen Vasic, about what it's like to see all the alumni return to Hinds for this event.
Well, it's wonderful. It shows just the lasting legacy of the institution. It shows how many people have come through and the difference that we were able to make on their lives, but then they've gone and made differences in the lives of so many other people. So it's really exciting to have them back.
I also spoke to Executive Director of Foundation, Ms. Jackie Granberry, about her thoughts on the event.
It's one of our favorite events because we love to have them come back and tell the stories of when they were here.
1971 alumni Lou Askew tells us what Hinds was like for her back when she attended.
It was like a little small town in itself. Everybody knew everybody in the dormitories, in our classes, everybody, small classes. We knew our classmates before the end of the semester. It was just like one big family.
Class of 1970 alumni Buddy Lofton told us what it's like to come back and see the way that Hinds is now.
Well, it's kind of hard to maneuver around when you remember what it used to look like, but we get back over it pretty regular.
Boy, oh boy, am I stuffed. But Makala, I heard there was a skating rink on campus. I guess it's time for me to try something I've never done before. Hinds Community College Raymond campus had a portable skating rink for students to come out and enjoy during homecoming week. I spoke to student recreational coordinator Danielle Beckworth to tell us about this event.
Well, of course, everyone knows it's homecoming, so we decided to rent a portable skating rink for the students because I see a couple of students around campus always skating. So I was like, hey, let's rent a portable skating rink, and now we have it for homecoming week.
I also spoke to students Jacob Reynolds and Denarius Hill about how they were feeling about this event.
Well, I heard it was going to be out here for homecoming week, and I like skating, so I thought I'd come show up. Man, just my school. I try to support, and I got a lot of friends and cousins that go here. So then they know I skate real good, because this is what I'm known for, skate really. So I said, I'm going to come out here and show them a couple moves.
As students skated and enjoyed themselves, even I decided to lace up my skates and join in on the fun. Unfortunately, for me, that fun did not last long, as I immediately went down and needed assistance from the other students. As you can see, Makala, I do not know how to skate, and I would never try that again.
Well, I guess not. Before we go any further, let's take a look at our weather with our weatherman, Lenarius May. Lenarius, how's that weather looking?
Expect mostly sunny skies with the highs in the lower to middle 80s. Lower than the middle of the upper 50s Sunday morning. Upper 50s and lower 60s by Monday morning. A few systems will sweep through the area through next week. First on Monday, a yearly chance of storms and showers aim in the middle of the 80s. We'll trend quietly Tuesday before more substantial front moving through Wednesday into Thursday. Dropping highs from 80s back to the lower 70s by late off in the week. And that's your weather. Back to you, Jacobus and Makala.
Thanks, Lenarius. Quick question. Do you like dogs, Makala?
Of course, Roby. I love dogs, especially the little fluffy ones.
Do you have a favorite breed?
I love a Shih Tzu, but I always wanted a German Shepherd because they were very smart dogs.
You know what I always said, if I got another dog, it would be a bulldog. I just think bulldogs are a better fit for me. Speaking of bulldogs, we now go to Tracy Gray at Meet the Bulldogs in the J.D. Boyd Gymnasium. Tracy?
Well, Roby, the dogs are looking great.
Meet the Bulldogs is in full swing. You get the opportunity to meet the men's and women's basketball team and also the cheerleaders. Athletic Director Nathan Wertmeyer tells me how he feels about the players' performance.
They did really well. We're at halftime of the guys' game, and they're playing really well. The girls played really well, too. They started off a little shaky, but they came back and played hard and finished out with an 8-point loss, which is a big improvement over what they had last year, and looking forward to seeing both of them how their regular seasons go.
Shooting guard Kyle Haven tells me how he feels about taking the victory over the Royal Ambassadors.
We got a lot of experience, guys. Tonight we came out, played hard, ran the score up. We felt really good. We was up 100-something to like 50.
I asked cheer captain Mia Wallace how she felt about the game personally.
At first, it was a little rocky in the beginning, but man, we took that win for real.
Well, Roby, we most definitely had a sight to see and can't wait for the upcoming basketball season. Back to you, Mikala and Roby.
Wow, that was a heck of a game. And congratulations to the men's Bulldogs on their winning score of 119-47. But now it's time for me and my co-host to hit the road. Road.
When I'm
road.
on the road.
Road.
I see stuff going by.
Road.
When I'm on the road.
I got something in my eye. Road.
When I'm on the road.
Road.
I see clear skies ahead.
Where are we going, Mikala?
Yes, Roby, we're out on a recruiting event for Hinds Community College, or especially the radio and television department. WHUC News 7 reporter Tiara Jackson is with me, and it brings us full coverage of the day. Tiara?
Yes, Mikala and Roby, I'm so excited. We are here at Bama Jackson for our very first recruiting event for the semester.
As part of Homecoming, we are on the road recruiting for high school students to join the Hinds family. High schools are back to having college fairs in session. Since COVID first started, most high schools haven't had any college fairs. Dr. Allison, counselor of Velma Jackson High School, explains how excited she is about the first college fair since COVID.
Excited for our college fair today. This is the first event that we've had post-COVID. So I wasn't for sure of the turnout because a lot of universities are still on travel restrictions, but I'm excited that we've had the turnout that we've had today.
High school senior Demetrius Williams tells me what school he's interested in since attending the college fair.
I'm starting to like Hinds on what they offer me, so they're probably going to be a good idea, so I'm going to look into Hinds a little more.
Tiara Jackson reporting for WHUC News 7. Back to you, Mikala.
Thanks, Tiara. That was definitely a fun experience. But if you ever want to know the history of the Utica campus, here is your chance. A Zoom session is being held by guest speaker Dr. Robert Jackson, and WHC News 7 reporter Devin Anderson is on that task. Devin, how's that Zoom look?
Yes, Mikala, getting a better understanding of the past can help you figure out how the world works today. The guest speaker, Dr. Robert Luckett, did a great job telling the story of Margaret Walker and her influence in the Black Arts movement. This event was a great reminder about the important people that made the lives of African Americans better in all aspects. That's it for the Zoom meeting. Now we're taking it back to Mikala and Jacobus.
Wow, Mikala, we really made a quick change just in time for coronation.
Yes, Roby. Tonight we'll get to see the crowning of our 2021-2022 Mr. and Mrs. Utica. Let's see what the night entails. The Princess and Her Knight. The 2021 coronation was definitely a sight to see. From the crowning of the Mr. and Mrs. Freshman and Sophomore to the crowning of the 2021-2022 Mr. and Mrs. Utica. The new leaders of the school year waved as they accepted their new roles. Dr. Stephen Basic, president of Hinds Community College, tells me his outlook on coronation.
That was a beautiful event. First of all, the ladies looked lovely. The gentlemen were so well behaved. They looked so good up there. But I think most importantly, this is an opportunity for us to celebrate our Utica campus and celebrate two young people who are going to help represent us very well in the future.
Newly crowned Mrs. Utica, Jada Henderson tells me how does it feel being crowned the 21-22 Mrs. Utica.
It's very interesting and refreshing. It's a feeling I can't explain. And maybe tomorrow after 24 hours, it'll be time to think and enjoy my new role and position.
Newly crowned Mr. Utica, Samuel Flowers, tells me what he wants the students to take away from his reign.
Some achievements I'm looking forward to is just being a good role model and setting good examples for others.
We had some lovely guests amongst the crowd. One of those being former 2021 Mrs. Utica, Deja Golden. And she tells me what advice she has for the newly crowned Mrs. Utica.
Don't stress yourself out. Just use your time wisely, plan and prepare, and everything's going to be all right.
Vice President Sherry Bellman leaves this piece of advice for those crowned tonight.
Well, I always say lead by example. So the way they performed tonight, I said performance because it was a great event. I want to see that same thing when I walk across campus tomorrow.
The coronation was definitely lovely, especially seeing one of our very own Ezekiel Harris being crowned as our Mr. Freshman. If you were not selected for a position such as this, here's another opportunity.
The Miss Hinds Community College competition is an official preliminary for the Miss Mississippi and Miss America competition. Each candidate competes in the area of interview, talent on the stage, social media impact, and red carpet. The winner of the Hinds Miss Mississippi Community College will represent the college throughout the year at speaking and entertainment engagements and will compete for the title of Miss Mississippi in Pittsburgh, Mississippi during the summer.
Yes, Roby, it would be definitely nice to have someone from the Utica campus, but back to the coordination, I can't help but to notice that none of the clubs or organizations are included.
Yes, I noticed that too. Maybe there is an event happening right now for those who are selected to get recognized. This event is the SGA Royal Court Hotspot Night on Bulldog Plaza, and WHUC News 7 reporter Tawana shows us who was selected in these organizations.
I am excited to be here for Homecoming Week. Here on the Bulldog Plaza, they have all of the clubs and organizations that would be recognized here today.
The SGA and the Royal Court Hotspot is the place to be. Here on the plaza, students were listening to music and mingling with other club members. Here in attendance were SGA President and Vice President and many more of the Royal Court members. Chelsea Benjamin, SGA Vice President and Yearbook Editor, give us an inside scoop on the event today.
Hotspot, basically just here celebrating homecoming because tonight is the homecoming game and just representing all the Royal Courts for them getting crowned last night.
Jada Carmel, SGA President, tell us about the purpose for the hotspot.
HBCU experience. More students come up to me every day saying that you haven't had the HBCU experience, such as a hotspot or parties. So we're trying to do it like Jackson State and have an actual hotspot to get the kids involved and around campus to just come out and party.
Well, they rested up here on the Bulldog Plaza following the discussion of the student body, a cultural movement involving the rebirth of a new Royal Court. Tawana Johnson reporting for WHUC News 7.
Thanks. Woo! Everything has been so much fun and exciting, but I'm really excited for the homecoming game.
For sure. There's nothing like Thursday night lights. After we come back from this break, the WHUC News 17 will bring you just that. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more fun-filled events when the Hinds Utica Campus Homecoming 21 coverage continues on Hinds' very own WHUC. When stories hit home, you can trust the WHUC News 17 to give you the information you need.
Here's the photos, Thursday, August 19th.
If it's Hinds Community College news around the campuses.
And this is only the beginning. We have a full week of activity.
Weather.
And now in Crystal Springs, as you can see,
sports.
Hinds is ready to get back to usual by starting the semester off with sports.
And more. We are WHUC News 7, Hinds' only college news station that cares. You're watching the live coverage of Homecoming 2021 on Hinds' very own WHUC News 7.
Welcome back to this special coverage. So far, we have definitely covered a lot of different events. But this next event is something you have definitely been waiting for the entire show, Roby.
Yes, Mikayla. Thursday Night Lights is all I have been waiting for. WHUC News 7 reporter Harmony Porter gives us the full look on the festivities. Harmony?
That's right, Mikayla and Jacobus. It's homecoming night. The game was delayed, but the crowd is hyped.
Not sure it was tailgating beforehand with funnel cakes, bull riding, food, games, and rock climbing, but when the game was delayed an hour and a half, the crowd was rocking to an impromptu battle of the bands. Once the delay was over, the sophomore football players were honored before kicking off to East Central. The Eagles came out with the first touchdown lead, but not too long after that, the Warriors tied the game, which didn't last too long either before Hinds came back with another touchdown that kept them on top the entire rest of the game. The Utica campus's Royal Court was recognized during the second quarter, and by halftime there were a lot more people to present, like the Sports Hall of Fame inductees. We spoke with the first African-American woman to be inducted into the Hinds Hall of Fame to see how she feels about being chosen.
Elated and grateful that I was chosen to be that first African-American female.
After that, our Eagles band performed their halftime show, and the High Steppers alumni chapter later joined them in the performance, doing their dance routine. Lastly, the homecoming court lined up to find out who would be the next homecoming queen for all campuses. Erin Gibbs won the vote as queen, and we talked to her to see what this achievement meant to her.
It's so shocking because I worked so hard. I feel that I worked so hard. I went campus to campus. I campaigned, passed out things. I met a lot of new people that I never met before, made new friends. And it was just a new experience for me because I've never done anything like this before. So
The game continued on, still with a great lead on this successful night. We caught up with Coach Larry Williams to hear how proud he was of his team.
Great win tonight. They come out there and they do what you ask them to do, and that's all we can ask for.
Another one for the history books. Hinds Eagles defeated East Central Warriors with a score of 52-14. Harvey Porter reporting for WHUC News 7.
Thank you, Harmony. That was some amazing coverage of the homecoming game. As we all know, the Hinds CC Utica campus is one of the 2 only HBCU community colleges in the state of Mississippi. Because of such an honor, it is only right that you see the full HBCU experience, meaning the parade and tailgating with many alumni. Me personally, I serve as the Miss Resident Assistant in this parade this year. What about you, Roby?
Yes, Michaela, I served as your Mr. Radio and Television in the parade. As a matter of fact, WHUC News 7 reporter Evan Hughes tells us what all is going on in this parade.
Homecoming week comes to an end. Hinds Utica campus held his annual homecoming parade. Some of the bands who participated in the parade were Hinds Band, Crystal Springs, and Port Gibson High School bands. It was a beautiful sight to see our very own Mr. and Mrs. Utica, Mr. and Mrs. Freshman, and Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore getting honor in the parade. I talked to Mr. Resident Assistant Tyron Casanave how it feels to be in the parade.
It was really nice to experience this parade for the first time.
I spoke to Crystal Springs High School Band Director Mr. Henry Johnson on how it feels to participate in the parade.
We're excited to be here. We're very happy to be here. It's a good experience for our kids just to have them exposed to Hinds here in Utica.
I also talked to a high school band student on how it feels to perform in the parade.
It feels good. We didn't get to do this last year, and it feels good to be back out here in the spirit of playing in the band because we really enjoy what we do.
WHUC News 7. Michaela and Jacobs, back to you.
Thanks, Evan. The parade has always been my favorite part of any homecoming. But there's one thing that's actually a close second, but we can talk about that later.
Before we close the show, there was a very important event where many alumni had an opportunity for their voices to be heard once again. WHUC News 7 reporter Devin Anderson is over in the Bobby G. Cooper Fine Arts Center to tell us what is being discussed. Devin?
Yes, Jacobus. I'm currently here at the alumni meeting where important matters covering all aspects of Hinds will be discussed. This wasn't just some ordinary meeting. This was a group of passionate alumni spending their free time to make sure that the Utica campus has a bright future. Important people like the mayor and state representatives was in attendance along with the commissioner of transportation, senior alumni, and even recent graduates. There was exciting news regarding the Highway 18 and 27.
And we're going to be spending $160 million to build that so that it be safer for you, your children in the future to come to and travel on as you come to and from this great campus.
But one thing is for sure, these alumni wasn't afraid to address the elephant in the room. Everyone was concerned about the same thing, the Bulldog.
As the athletic director, do you support the Utica campus maintaining the Bulldog?
Nevertheless, the athletic director, Nathan Wermeyer, reassured that no decision will be made without the input from students and alumni.
We talk about it, yes. But do we talk about it in the way that, well, we're just going to do it? No.
I spoke with him after the meeting to better understand what he hoped to accomplish today.
To come down here and get to know people, to get them to see my face and get to know me a little bit. That way we can, open up lines of communication between me and the alumni. Because part of being a good leader is listening to people.
He also explained the biggest issue behind the mascot here in Utica.
I thought you guys were the Hinds Eagles, but your basketball team is the Bulldogs. Why is that? And I want to be able to, without hesitation or confusion, say what that reason is. I want the mascot to be able to be distinguishable from other mascots.
The alumni president, Mabel Beecham, shares how she felt the meeting went.
I think we had a pretty good, productive meeting. We had more people than we normally would, and very good questions were asked, and I'm just real happy about the way it turned out.
I also asked Geneva Turner the main thing she wanted to express today.
They took the UJC. They took the high school. And now they're trying to just take the last thing we got left is the emblem, our Bulldog. And it's a wrong and a right about things, and it's wrong to take everything.
With a variety of opinions and perspectives, the ultimate goal is for the Hinds family to continue to move forward. David Anderson reporting for WHUC News 7. Back to you, McCullough and Jacobus.
On the Raymond campus, as they wrap up homecoming, it's cleanup day. But right here on the Utica campus, it's tailgate is going on.
Indeed, it is, McCullough, and I got prepared for this. Tailgating has such a good atmosphere and good vibe because the alumni, faculty, and the administration actually come out and play good music and grill good food.
Hinds Utica alumni and faculty sure do know how to have a good time and cook up some good food. Some alumni gathered together to see each other for the first time since COVID-19. Thanks to Penn's Fish House, students had lots of options to choose what food they would like to enjoy. With DJ T Money on the beats and a live band, students were definitely entertained and singing their hearts out. Yes, oh my gosh, Roby. Tailgate is exactly what I was talking about earlier in the show. But what a good way to end off such a busy week. All the talk about tailgate is really making me hungry, and I might even get a bite to eat before it's all gone.
Right, unfortunately, this is all the coverage of the 2021 homecoming celebration. I am Jacob Rose.
And I am McCullough Brown. Remember to like us on Facebook and Radio and Television Productions, and subscribe to our new YouTube channel at WHUC News 7, Hinds Homecoming Campus, and tell them Brown sent you.
Now it's time for us to go grab a bite to eat and also get in